always been attracted to, certainly no one younger than myself. But how can you not be flattered, immensely flattered, when someone much younger than yourself finds you wonderful and wants to live and live with you and be the same? And I must mention this one place in London. It is a special pub. I won't mention the name. And it is known all over the world as a gay bar of 50, 60, 70 men, all 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. And yet, the other ones in the bar, and they come there from all over the world because they know about it, and they come to England specially to go to that bar because they know that's the only bar in London where they will find what they want, and that is someone old enough to be their father. And that is life. There are men and women like that. If you go to any other gay bar in London as an old man, you can tell when you get old, you can always tell, you can read what people, you can almost tell exactly what people are thinking. What are you doing in here? So you don't feel welcome. But in this bar, in this pub, it is the most, really is the only one I know of in the whole world. So large and so full of men who get together, all old enough to be their father, and it takes all sorts to make a world. If I love me, and the young friend, very young friend I was with, and people probably thought he was my lover. No, he was my friend. Oh, George, I think you scored. I better make myself scarce, otherwise he'll think I'm your boyfriend. Somchai still carried on walking towards me, his eyes fixed straight onto my eyes, which is most unusual. And then he walked past me, still turning around and looking, and came back. And that was the start of the most wonderful, and I have had a very, very lucky, happy life. But that was the start of the happiest period of my life, 22 years together. And that's how we met, and that's how we met.
Great.
Isn't it wonderful that an old man like me, old enough to be his grandfather, should have someone who loves me genuinely? And let's face it, what does the longevity of relationships, all relationships, 10, 15 years maybe? Not many, a lot more than that. We're 20 years and we're still just as much in love with each other as we ever were. Other people find difficult to understand, and most people, gay and not gay, don't understand. But how lucky I am that it has happened. I really am the luckiest old gay guy in the world. And especially where gerontophiles are concerned, is not necessarily centered around sex. It happens. It happens earlier when you can manage it. But as I've said, and I've never found anybody, never heard of anybody who's 90, more than 90, can still carry on. It doesn't happen. It just, not many people reach 90, but if you do, that's it. You've had your fill, as they say. And isn't it wonderful that even so, people would say, well, surely Somchai will find it difficult now. No, he still loves me just as much as he always had. The sex doesn't come into it. Sex doesn't always come into a relationship. It is love. Just purely and simple love.
That's really good.
Say that our love is as strong as and intense as any love between two people. Probably more so than among a lot of heterosexuals, where they don't seem to last. I mean, people, even married couples with 2 or 3 children, that the marriage doesn't last when they're in their 30s, 40s and 50s. But we shall be together and we shall love each other as much as we do now until the day one of us, and I shouldn't say that, it's going to be me obviously, die. And I shall love him as much as I do now until the day I die.